Okay, so today I'm gonna show a few things about the Thanos4U devices, um, like how to use both of them at the same time to have 8 actuators in SRS. But first I'm gonna start with something like how to check if the firmware is correct, because you don't really see what it will be because you don't have a screen on this. So you'll have to power it on, and you can check it through two different ways. I'm gonna use the power switch to switch it on and off because it's easier than plugging with one hand. So I plug one. This little tester I have that acts like emulator of an actuator. So for example, if it will move like an actuator, so you can see visually some stuff without connecting actual hardware on it. So right now you can see it's sparking. So once it's on, you can use the little test tool which is made with processing. Let me see, I have it on GitHub. You can go on the GitHub, for example, on the Thanos utility, on the SD15A Thanos utility simple test. You can download the file and install the processing software. It's kind of like Arduino, but with software for computers. So this is a little software that you can just run there. It will display. Let me run it so you can see what it will display. It will display a little test program with a slider and a few boxes just to set spike filter on, spike filter off, or spike filter on if you press them. Otherwise, you do the slider, it will send the positions to the AMC or the Thanos4U for all actuators to be the same, up or down. This is just a test, so you can test all the actuators to make sure that they move to the range. Okay. This actually is set up for 150 millimeter there, but it's moving only 100. Yep, 10,000. That's 100 millimeter. Translates to that. Okay. As you can see, it has the traffic for the USB on the USB connector, the red LED. The green light is that it's online. It's connected, it's running. If I do the spike filter, it will the blue will go on, the green content off. Okay. All right. So this program also says on the bottom here the version, so you can see the version actually. Thanos4U M, it means it's the master, or secondary, it will be for the other one, which we'll see in a moment. How many actuators are active, and the version, and yeah, this is the latest one right now, 101 fix 6. So let me turn this off, and then I'm gonna turn on the second one. Okay, so in the COM ports you can see now there's a second one there, and I'm gonna turn it on, the test. It picked up the COM port for the other one, the second one, which is COM port 48, and it's a running test for this now. As you can see, the version Thanos4U S secondary 101 fix 6. But yeah, you can see it. This is the one it's moving now. All right. Now I wanted to show this because this is a way to check for the firmware version, but also because let me turn this off. I'll put on the SRS SimRacingStudio. So what happens usually, most of people, they just get one of these that they have for vertical actuators, but then they may need to use more than 4 actuators, like 7 or 8. So we're going to go to setup. Let's see what it is right now. Okay, it's set up for the motion set up for Thanos at 4 actuators, for front to rear. So I'm gonna change that. Let's see. Let's do 8 actuators, even if we don't have the belt. I'm just gonna do 8. Okay, and then I'm gonna go up here to save, and then I'm gonna plug back the secondary to see if it will recognize it. Okay, so let's see here. Alright, Thanos, 8 actuators, it shows the gear, that means it's working. So it may take a little time to click on it the first time. The gear, come on. Yeah, let me go back tuning, setup. Let's do it now again. Nope. Alright. So it may not do it sometimes. Let me click save here and then turn off the motion. So it will disconnect this from the software there. I'll turn on the motion box. So it will look for them. Okay, it's green again. Alright, now I click on that. There it is, came up. So you can see now here at the top the firmware version. Again, for the master, it shows you for the master. So if the slave has different firmware as its own device, because it's secondary, it may not show there. That's why I said that's a way to check it. We'll be using that utility here. But let me go back. Let me go back here on the SimRacingStudio. So you can see here the 4 vertical actuators, and then there's the secondary actuators for vertical, for horizontal actuators, traction loss, surge, traction loss front, the belt, and you can set default settings if you don't want to, so you can quick set something or others. You can change the stroke, the direction if you want to change the retract, and some other settings, part position, speed, standby. Usually leave these two alone. By default should be okay. Everything should be fine by default. The only thing you want to change perhaps is to change the dimensions for the rig to make sure all these agree, and apply the spike filter settings on the other spot that SRS has that. So I'm just going to click OK there. And I'm going to run, let me put this closer here. Oh, don't want to be pressing buttons. Okay. Alright. So I'm gonna be using the sliders here to test. I'm gonna do start motion. You can see this one is already 50% in the middle, and this one went also, that's the vertical actuators. So if I do some pitch test, only this one will move, the first one, the master. If I do roll, the same. You'll see that both of them it doesn't actually move, but it will move this one, the secondary. This test actuator thingy is connected on the traction loss connector. That's the number 5 there, because it will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is on number 5, which that is part of, if you see here on the settings, it was the one that has a front traction loss. Okay, so let me go this back here. Lateral sway, you'll see both of them move, because it to sway injects both for the vertical actuators and the horizontal a bit, so all of the system kinda moves a bit, sharing a little bit of the motion. The same with the surge. The surge is mostly on the front one, and on the dedicated surge, the second channel, that's why you not see it moving there now. Let's see, heave, of course it's gonna move the heave only the vertical actuators, and the traction loss, let's see, it will move only the traction loss actuator, which is the number 5. Alright, so in any case that you have problems connecting the hardware here, when for example you already had 4 actuators, using 4 actuators forever, then when you switch it, it's not working anymore, or you want to reset things, you can just let's put it on 4 actuators. Just gonna save it here. At the motion box, it says, is it running? No, not just, but it's on red right now because there's more connected than it's supposed to. So I'm gonna turn off the secondary. Okay, and now you should see here the motion box come green, maybe. Let me unplug it. I'm gonna plug it back again. So now there it is, it's green again, because it recognized the 4 actuators setting. But now if you plug, for example, the secondary on, master slave anyway, and you have 4 actuators there, it will still be green, but you won't have this. So when you click on the profile, you'll see that it will give you only the 4 actuators, the vertical ones. Now even if you change to 8 now, let's save it, there's possibility it will hang, so it won't recognize it. It's random. I've seen it in a few setups, but maybe it will. So it's reading actually. I can see it's queuing the ports. So maybe it will, maybe you'll just have to wait. No, I think it's stuck. So what I do in this case, I see it queuing the secondary, but it doesn't do anything on the master. So I'm gonna turn off the master one. Okay. Now I'm gonna save it here. Make sure it's 8. Yeah. Have it all saved. Let me unplug the secondary. So nothing is plugged there. You can see no COM ports. I'm gonna turn on the secondary first. Okay. COM port appeared, and I can see it. SRS is trying to read it. Okay. Now I'm gonna turn on the master. So in that case, SRS is scanning all the ports. Now it talks to the master, it talks to the slave, and voila, it comes up now. And now you should be able to go in there and see all 8 actuators. So this is the way that kind of have to discover and save those 2 in its memory. And then actually after it finds everything, you should go and save the profile on top, so it remembers next time you power on. SRS remembers the ports that those 2 have, so we don't forget to look for them, it will stay red. So yeah, okay, well that's for now. Thanks for watching.